Franchising is a major economic contributor right around the world, with thousands of formats available across established and emerging markets, and new franchise concepts popping up every year. Now, with so many new trends influencing consumer behaviour, innovation across the franchising sector is a key to its ongoing success. Hi, I'm Effie Zahos, and you're watching The Franchise Show. Being ahead of new trends is how many businesses become successful. It's all about timing and knowing what the customer wants, sometimes even before they do. Brad caught up with an industry insider to give us the lowdown on what's trending in the world of franchising.
Sarah, so tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Inside Franchise Business.
Well, I've been in franchising media for about 10 years, and I'm the editor of Inside Franchise Business, which is the essential guide to buying a franchise. And I'm really passionate about an industry that allows individuals to fulfil their dreams of business ownership.
With your insight over your time in that role, what do you see as the biggest moves and trends across franchising across the globe, really?
Well, franchising trends right now come down to, I think, a couple of points. A lot of it's driven by technology, but essentially it's about making us feel good and giving us more time for ourselves. So if you think about fast food, it's always been popular, but now people want to feel healthier after they've eaten a quick meal. And healthy options are still a real trend. And if you look at the way that franchises are choosing to place their restaurants, now we might have a lunch at a typical food court, but in the evening we might join our friends for a more casual meal, which is still fast food, and that's called fast casual. Wellbeing is really important. That's a trend that really reflects the ageing population and our concerns about health. Anything that is around kind of looking good, feeling better. And then we have home services, so businesses that allow us to have more time to do the things we want to do because they're doing our chores for us.
So are we seeing a difference in the pace or the release of new currency and trends globally as opposed to what's happening here domestically in Australia?
We're in a global environment now, so everything is very accessible. There isn't really much of a time lapse between what's going on overseas and what's happening here. And the other thing I think that's really interesting for Australians is that the Australian franchising market is actually very sophisticated. It's a world-class business, and a lot of the trends that you see here, a lot of the innovations are first class and are ahead of what's happening in a lot of places around the world. So we're in a very good position with franchising in Australia.
Health and wellbeing has never been more important to consumers. Founded right here in Australia, Salts of the Earth was awarded second place at the International Franchise Association's Next Gen competition for their bespoke business model. Let's find out how this growing business was brought to life. David, tell me a bit about the Salts of the Earth business.
Well, Salts of the Earth was founded in June 2010 after seeing the results salt therapy had on my father back in Ireland. Salts of the Earth offer a product that's called salt therapy. Basically, it's where people sit in a salt room, they inhale dry salt particles deep down into their airways to help relieve congestion, inflammation and allergies. Our main clientele that come into us suffer from conditions such as asthma, eczema, psoriasis, hay fever, to more long-term conditions like emphysema, bronchiectasis. We get a degree of different conditions, right down to well-being and prevention.
And what's the size of your network and number of franchise partners now?
So currently we have 20 centres open, and we've got another 2 to open in the next couple of weeks. So we take our time making sure that we get the right franchisee and the right location.
Marie, tell me a little bit about your journey with Salts of the Earth.
I guess initially my husband came across the previous owner of Salts of the Earth, and he came home very excited one day saying that she would be able to help our daughter with all her allergies. As time moved forward and we saw her health and wellbeing improved, I became obviously very passionate about salt therapy because we saw such a huge change in her health and wellbeing.
And how did that influence your decision then to become a franchise owner of Salts of the Earth?
When you see that something is working so well, and having been in businesses before, I guess I was a bit tempted when the place came up for sale.
It's pretty amazing because 95% of our franchisees are clients of ours. So they've had such amazing results with regards to the service and the product that they actually believe so much in the brand, they want to bring it back to their community.
And what is it that you love about the Salts of the Earth brand so much?
I love the fact that what we do here is completely natural. When you do the consultations with the clients and you see just, how they're struggling from time to time in that consultation, and then you see the improvement as they come in and when they're on their management plans, it's really exciting to be part of that.
Up next, we learn how one pizza brand is going mobile to take its product to the people. All this and more coming right up on The Franchise Show. Convenience is king in the fast food market, not just for customers, but for potential franchisees too. And how much more convenient can you get than a pizza shop on wheels? The team at Pizza Capers took us behind the scenes to see the development of their upcoming new franchise model, a fully functioning pizza food truck.
Innovation's really important because consumers expect you constantly to do new things, and to stay ahead of your competitors in the market, you always have to find a new way to excite, to cut through and to delight your customers. Pizza Capers is launching the mobile truck to take advantage of the mobile food truck trend, which is absolutely exploded. But it's actually really interesting. The big opportunity for food trucks is actually to service communities, industrial parks, commercial districts that currently don't have good food service options. And that's the trend that we're really looking to exploit with this new model.
So we're here in Melbourne today at A&B Food Trucks. They've helped us design the truck and they'll be building it for us. We've collaborated with some of our internal departments so we can pump out our product in the same form that we do in our stores. This particular one, we would be having our sinks outlined over there, our make bench in this area, our pizza oven situated back here. We're gonna have a cutting area, stainless steel benching for servery, and some fridges over here, and the service window hatch cut out here. The food offered inside of the truck is a select range of our products. It will be primarily pizzas, pizza wraps, sides, and then drinks that we offer at the same time. The product itself will be generously topped, as Pizza Capers normally is. It will just be individually sized for people coming to a truck.
I think the food truck fad is actually a trend. It's a trend because it really meets the needs of convenience, great product quality, and a really good experience for the consumer. And really the needs of those people who are working in offices and industrial parks, people who are at events like Little Athletics and OzTag, they're going to want really good quality food, and that mobile format just meets the needs so well.
So we're also looking at obviously creating territories for each individual food truck, and that franchisee will buy into that territory. We're trying to target territories that will give the franchisee the opportunity to be set up for success with this food truck. The biggest challenge with the food truck for us, I believe, has really been just getting it right. We've really had to collaborate with people like A&B, with our own internal stakeholders, to try and get the layout correct and to try and get also the business model correct for our up-and-coming franchisees.
Obviously, the type of person who follows food trucks will target them through social media mainly, and then going after the lucrative lunch market will be more of an approach with printed materials such as flyers and menus that the franchisee can drop off with companies.
So we'll start to roll out the food truck format from May and June onwards in 2017, and it really is going to be on a first come, first served basis in terms of the territories that are going to be available. So some of those really good territories close to universities, business districts, those that can service the CBD, those are going to be the ones that get snapped up first. So it's really important that people do give us a shout and let us know if you're interested in getting on board. The biggest advantage for new people coming into this is really that it is a very economical way to get into business. at under $200,000 all up. It's also very flexible, so you can operate it in the hours that you want to operate it. And it's backed by a national franchisor, so all the systems, processes, the brand has already been set up with 20 years of strong performance in the market. So it's a really easy way for somebody who may not at the moment be very experienced in business to actually jump on and operate a really successful business for themselves.
There's a lot of data around on the internet and, in terms of probably documentation from banks and things like that about what trends are working and what aren't at the moment. A lot of the time in our market, we are a little bit delayed, so overseas trends tend to hit us a little bit later. The good thing is that if you can get on the front end of that trend and bring it to Australia, you're likely to be very successful. However, if you're looking around the market and you're seeing lots of a certain type of restaurant, it might be that you're in the end of that trend, and that could be something that is coming to the end of its life cycle. So when you're, assessing what it is you're meant to be starting to look at, it's important to do a lot of reading. So you could consult an economist about that. In fact, most banks will provide you with reports around different types of industry and what is about to happen. Also doing your research in terms of the financial review, looking at what's happening in retail. And there are a lot of publications that will actually talk about what is coming and what new retailers are coming on the market or what quick service is coming on the market, and that's really what you need to start with. Ultimately, at the moment, what we're seeing is that anything that is service-based is going to be successful. So consumers are looking for more personalised service, they want their lives to be much easier, and they really just want to be able to embrace a particular brand that reflects their values. So right now, if that's the kind of business you're talking about setting up, you will be a success.
These days, we're more time poor than ever, which can make it really tricky to keep everything in order. Up next, we speak to a franchisor whose goal is to help us get more organised. Now, these days, we're more time poor than ever, which can make it really tricky to keep everything in order. Up next, we speak to a franchisor whose goal is to help us get more organised.
Hi, I'm Nina and I'm the franchisor of Home Sorted. So Home Sorted started about 14 years ago. I had an idea of writing a book and trying to get other people organised. With the book, it did really quite well, and a lot of the readers were saying, hey, can you come to my house? I need you at mine. How do I get you? And then I thought, well, I couldn't venture out and do this as a business. So it started here in Melbourne, and basically I was out organising people's homes, and eventually I left my day job and just branched out into the world of professional organising. We deal with really busy professionals, busy families, a lot of seniors, a lot of kids have left home, left all their stuff behind. So obviously, for them and for all these type of people, our job is to come in and just to create really good systems for them at home. And it's a system that they can keep up with and that they can maintain. For me to take the concept and the actual business of home organising to a franchise to another level, it was quite daunting because I didn't know much about it. But once I educated myself and I really went through all the systems and, I did find quite a few mentors that were already in the industry, I actually found it was quite an easy, smooth progression.
So I'm Carrie and I'm a very, very proud owner of Home Sorted Henley Beach in South Australia. Everything is totally individually and tailor-made for you. We'll come into your house, we'll walk through the house. What doesn't work? Why doesn't it work? Is it a time thing? Is it that you can't let go of things? So there's a million different reasons that you can use us. I had tried a business on my own and it worked really, really well, but it's nothing compared to the backup you get with a franchise.
For us, we're actually quite privileged because we've just become a part of the National Disability Insurance Scheme as well. So what the franchisees are doing is they're actually going out and helping people with disabilities to organise their home. It's a combination of helping the disabled but also helping people just with their everyday life to really understand that there is a service available to them, and it's quite an affordable service that they can, feel a lot less stressed and a lot more relaxed in their own home environment as well.
Soul Origin developed a model that could be duplicated easily through various locations. As you can see, we've got an abundant amount of food in our display. We've gone back to some old school retailing, stack them high and watch them fly, putting a whole lot of fresh food into display to tempt people's taste buds, as most people eat with their eyes and not with their stomachs. So we believe our low deli counters, our customer interaction, and everything that goes along with Soul Origin is an experience that most consumers enjoy and keep coming back for more day in, day out.
Well, I think that Australia is moving towards the whole healthy lifestyle, and what we offer is eat mindfully, right? So it sort of fits into everybody's lifestyle now, and I like that. And I can tell that majority of my customers, they come like 2-3 times a week minimum. So you can see that they're really enjoying the food and they really enjoy the freshness of the food.
Soul Origin has developed an app and it's called Soul School, and all our staff, franchisees at all levels have access to this. And within this app, we have all the recipes, all the menus, all the products that make up each and every one of the salads that we serve and sandwiches. So we have open lines of communication in this way to make sure that our consumer does get what they want. We believe that our systems are robust enough that anyone can come in and have a successful business.
Missed an episode? Catch up on all our stories on the website, thefranchiseshow.com.au.
We've got more great franchising stories and industry insight coming up after this break. You're watching The Franchise Show. It's the lifeblood of our nation, coffee. With a cafe on almost every corner, it's never been easier to get your fix. And as Sarah found out, the latest coffee house trends means you can order up without even having to leave your car.
We've all been there, on the way to work, a meeting, or to pick up the kids, when we really need that hit of caffeine. But who really has time? Well, if you're lucky, a latte might be just around the corner. Stephen, how did you get into your own franchise business?
Me and my wife, Tracy, has been with Glory Jeans since 2010. Last year, when this drive-through Glory Jeans opportunity popped up, we decided to jump on board.
And what is it about the Gloria Jeans brand that you love so much?
It is a good brand. Personally, I like the brand. I like all the product. And that's the reason why I stay with the brand for over 6 years.
How did you decide to purchase the drive-through store?
Yeah, when the opportunity popped up, we were like, okay, let's do something no one else did before. So we decided to take on board, and I do reckon drive-through gonna be a trend. I do reckon in the future we're gonna do very well.
So, Stephen, you opened the first Gloria Jeans drive-through in Victoria. What was it about the drive-through model that got you excited?
Yeah, it was very exciting when we just opened, especially for the first month. You will see all the people around the other store, like their regular customer, even the shop owners. They all come into my store like, oh, what's happening here? It's a drive-through Gloria Jeans, first one in Victoria. It's just really excited.
What do you think are the main differences between having a standalone store compared to the drive-through store?
I reckon you can pay less rent compared to a shop in a shopping center. Also, you will have less competition. There's not many coffee shops around me. And I think the major benefit is you can break even much faster than a store because all the cost is lower.
What are your plans for the future?
I'm definitely going to get on board with more store for drive-through concept.
If you're starting a new business, it can be really tempting to go for a hot new product rather than one that's a little more established. Now, either way, you need to be sure your business will stand the test of time. And to do this, it's critical to understand the basics like market demand for the product in the area and the number of competitors. Details that can be much harder to determine for a new or highly innovative product. Bear in mind too that banks are conservative lenders, so you may struggle to get affordable finance for a product in an unproven market. And finally, look at wallet share, not just market share. Does the product offer scope to upsell more to each customer, and will it generate repeat business? It's far easier holding on to an existing customer than winning over new clients. Now, you could be better off with an established brand offering opportunities to innovate rather than something like a sizzling new tech product where customers' tastes and preferences change rapidly, potentially giving your business a very short shelf life.
The words due diligence pop up a lot when looking to buy a franchise, but what do they really mean? Due diligence is a comprehensive appraisal of a business undertaken by a prospective buyer, essentially to evaluate its commercial potential. In the world of franchising, it's important to not only conduct research on the franchise business you are looking to buy, but also the franchise brand itself. Even if you are sure of the brand you want to buy into, it's a good idea to research its competition along with newer and more established brands in the same market. This may help you to identify potential weaknesses and opportunities with the brand, which can only help you to make the right business decision. Ultimately, you need to keep in mind that a franchise business is both a small business and a larger brand. You need to be satisfied with the opportunities for both brand and business before going ahead. If the business's figures stack up commercially, but the brand itself is not responding well to market challenges, then this could be a red flag.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed hearing all about some of the current trends in franchising. We'll see you next weekend on The Franchise Show.